we normally call it. The podcast that got tan lines from its safety pluggers when it was just getting in to fix that retaining wall. This is my co-host Terry. Say hello, Terry.
Hello, Terry.
How are you today?
Yeah, full of thick shake.
Oh, that's good. Still,
It was a big thick shake.
It was a while back. Okay.
It was a big thick shake.
3 months ago. Yes, we're in Australia. I'm in Australia.
I'm always in Australia.
Yes, he's going nowhere. So we went and saw an Australian film. We saw Lion.
Australia Day's tomorrow.
And it's Australia Day tomorrow. So we saw Lion. It stars Dev Patel and Nicole Kidman and Rooney Mara and David Dan himself, David Wenham. It's David Dan. I know this Faramir nonsense. David Dan. It's about a kid who may or may not be called Saru. That would be giving things away. Who loses through a series of misadventures, is separated from his family in India and finds his way to Calcutta, and is then adopted by an Australian family in Tasmania. Sue and John, who were played by Nicole Kidman as the most 80s mum ever.
Yeah, she did have a cool 80s haircut.
She was, it's her best. And then, it's amazing though. And David Wenham, who raised him, and then when he's older and sort of, it seems like he's very much in like a Tasmanian, like in a white Australian culture, because then he goes to Melbourne and meets other Indian people and starts to encounter other Indian culture and start to realize he wants to go and find his the family he's lost. So the movie is about him going to find that family. And yes, Nicole Kidman looks very 80s, and then at the end, almost too 80s, but then at the end we see some of the actual family photos, and she's wearing exactly what Sue wore in real life in those photos. It's fine. I thought it was fine.
She's a real 80s mum.
She's a real 80s mum. Did you have a mum in the 80s? This Nicole Kidman looks like your mum, basically. If you had a mum in 1980s Australia. I thought it was fine. I thought there was not enough actual story and too much impressionistic stuff about how sad Suru was. Apart from, it was alright.
It was a lot different than what I thought. I thought it was going to be mainly about him in India looking for his family, but it was him in Tasmania on Google Earth.
Yeah, you think he's going to go to India and literally like walk around the entire country trying to find his family, and a lot of it was just research, it turns out. This is based on a true story. A lot of it is research, but I think they should have been able to make that look interesting, like the prospect of like how difficult. I mean, you kind of think he could just Google it, but it would have been interesting to see, even with the vast resources of the internet, how difficult it was for him to actually find this stuff. And he kind of happens upon his hometown by chance. We see, but instead of that, we kind of get, he's stayed up all night and he's having problems with his girlfriend Rooney Mara, and he's quit his job. And you kind of just infer from that how difficult things are. It doesn't really show you the difficulty of finding this town and how difficult that is for him by implication. It kind of tells you and you can figure it out, but it doesn't really show you as such. It's okay though. And Dev Patel does a good accent. Kind of needs to wash his hair, but he does a good accent. Nicole Kidman is good.
Yeah, I thought Dev Patel, my God, he's a good actor. And I haven't really seen a great deal with him in it. Like, I've seen bits and pieces and stuff, but not a great deal. And it blew me away just seeing him like get those emotional heartstrings in me from it. So good for him. Good for him. I think he actually has earned his Oscar nom.
Has he got an Oscar nomination for this?
For supporting actor. Would you assume he's the supporting actor?
No, he's
the lead.
How very strange.
But he's nominated for the supporting actor.
Who Who else could be the? Is Nicole Kidman for Best Actress?
No, for supporting. They're both for supporting.
Does this movie not have a protagonist? Okay.
Maybe they're all just.
How very strange.
How nice.
He does resort to that most Australian of acting techniques, the Zinger Burger sales. I'm going to talk like this. I'm going to talk very low and with a bit of a rasp. Flaming Whopper. Oh. I forget who pioneered that technique of acting that we see so frequently now. It was Sam someone from The Secret Life of Us.
Worthington.
Sam Worthington. It was no.
I've never
Sam
seen
Worthington.
that
It was the other way. The other guy.
And another thing, every time I see Nicole Kidman in an Australian movie, I never know if that's her real voice or if that's put on. It sounded put on a little bit, that Australian accent. I don't know if it is, like if she was trying to be extra Australian with it.
She is like trying to do, like, her accent is more of, like, it's what you'd call a Sydney accent, or the accent of someone from a capital city who enunciates things in a closer to like a rounded accent with no inflection, and this is much more of an Australian accent that you might hear from someone's mum. But yeah, I thought she was good. I think there are a lot of set pieces in this, I feel, where Dev Patel looks very sad or wanders out into the ocean, and she gets a set piece where she gets to kind of just explain her character. And I didn't like that that's what they did. She's fine at it. It's a okay scene, but it kind of just... There's a lot of scenes that are kind of just, this is what the movie is. Look at the movie. It's not really got a narrative so much, or it doesn't rely on a narrative so much. It's just... look at these scenes that will tell you how everyone is feeling.
I did like that they explained why they adopted stuff. I thought that was good to address.
I kind of wonder where that actually took place in real life, that conversation, or if it took place, because it feels like it comes towards the end of the movie. So you can have this tension, and then it's kind of like, oh, okay, now he knows his mum is fine. With him being interested in his other family, he can just go and do stuff, and it kind of resolves reasonably quickly after that. Feels like as long as we have this revelation that she's actually hasn't adopted her two children as a substitute for having children of her own, and is perfectly at peace with the fact that they had a life before her. They'd had that conversation a lot sooner. The movie would have been over a lot quicker. Well, that's the impression I get. I don't think that's what happened in real life. I don't know. I haven't read the book. It's kind of how the movie is structured, though. Yes, it's fine.
I did get quite emotional at the end of it, like the big reunion and everything. I thought that was very moving.
Yeah, it is. It's
everything that they've done and built towards, it does have that payoff.
It does pay off, and especially like you see the real. Well, it's interesting because the most effective part for me was not the movie itself; it's the actual footage of Mum, Sue, and me. I don't know. I can't remember his birth mother's name. Yeah, meeting each other, and that's amazing. But that actually happened. That's not the movie. It's actual footage that they kind of just had and put on at the end. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. Well, it's out in cinemas at the moment. Would you be recommending people check this out for get their Australian fix for Australia Day at the cinema?
Yeah.
Well, there is Red Dog out.
Oh, Red Dog, True Blue. I haven't seen the first Red Dog.
Neither have I.
Don't know. Yes, I think so. I think because it's over Red Dog. It's not about country stuff.
No.
So it's probably better than Red Dog.
I think it'd be a lot more emotionally gripping than The Dog on the Farm.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure the dog dies. Is it a
prequel? It's a prequel.
Oh, so the dog dies in the first one.
It must do.
Okay. There you go.
Interesting. The two Australian films got nominated for Best Picture. Was this and Hacksaw Ridge? Personally, I think Hacksaw Ridge is a much better movie. I don't know if this is worthy of the Best Picture. I know you don't care about the Oscars.
No.
But yes, I think I don't know if I would put this on the Best Picture list. But good for them. Good for them. I think Dave Patel definitely earned his nomination.
In the wrong category.
Well, that's what I saw it straight away. And went, isn't he the lead actor?
Well, maybe
but he is in supporting actor.
I think there's like a strategy to this a lot of the time, wherein
I think the movie, like the studios themselves, they put whoever in the category, like they write in and say, yeah, we're putting him in supporting actor. Maybe they thought he's got a better chance in
winning supporting actor, even though it's not accurate. Maybe, anyway.
Possibly. And yeah, Nicole Kidman definitely does a better job than Meryl Streep. So good for her. Good for her.
David Wenham. David Wenham has had an interesting career where he does like good things. He's like Timothy Spall. He does good drama in Australia, but then in Hollywood, he's kind of junky. But this is, I guess, a Hollywood film or an internationally released film where he has a proper role. It's fairly minor, but it's better than what he was in Van Helsing.
I don't even remember him in Van Helsing.
He's in it for like 20 minutes at the start. He's like the Q, like the techie monk who's like, here's your sweet.
Oh, yes.
Crossbow machine gun. Anyway, yeah, that was Van Helsing.
All right. I think it's fine. I think I'd recommend people watch it at least once. I think it goes all right.
It's worse things you could be seeing at the moment.
Yeah. Like La La Land, apparently, according to Tim.
Yeah. Or Passengers. Don't say Passengers.
Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed is bad.
There's a lot of other terrible things out at the moment.
Yeah, what is wrong with 27? It's
January.
It's a slow year. Yeah.
It's a slow year.
No one wants to compete. No one wants to compete with Rogue One yet, I guess. All right. I guess is that it?
Yeah, that's about it.
Lion is fine. Okay. If you want to read our main blog, it's at sfdfmoviereviews.tumblr.com. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/sfdf. We're on Twitter at sfdfmoviereview singular. You can find that if you just want to listen to the podcast at soundcloud.com/sfdf or wherever good SoundClouds are found. You can also find us on iTunes. Just search SFDF in iTunes. If you want to email us, you can get to us at inspace.no-one-can-eat-ice-cream@gmail.com. And if you want to find links to all these things as well as other good stuff, they're all down the right side of the main blog, which again is sfdfmoviereviews.tumblr.com. Okay, that's about it for us. We're going to go and eat some lamb. I guess so. Yeah, say goodbye, Terry.
Goodbye, Terry.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Sweet.